Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. This is the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube, and this is chapstick. This is pumpkin pie. I picked it at random. The Crazy Troll Nation. I call this channel that because we're a special type of people that come here. The crazy, just enjoying videos if you do them, and even if you don't do videos, enjoying the channels that you watch. And if you do videos, knowing it's okay to be your authentic self. Try not to feel like you need to be put together, ultimate proper type person. Speak how you normally speak in real life when you're out with your friends, and just know it's okay to be yourself. And so sometimes it may seem crazy, and I do leave a lot of stuff in my videos if I stammer over my words, unless it's like completely horrible, or I'm like a baby. I hiccup, I belch, I drop stuff, and I keep all that in the video because that's real life. Like, things are not always picture perfect. Like, this is not a movie production where everything just has to be tick, 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 tick. Like this, you know, I'm just saying it's okay to let your personality shine through. And if people want to say, okay, we're crazy because we really believe, because it's true, that it's okay to be ourselves, then they can call us that. And sometimes being a little crazy, being a little different is fun. I think it adds spice. Let me know if watching my videos adds a little spice to your day. And a lot of times I laugh at myself, and hopefully you're laughing with me and not at me. So anyway, that's the crazy. Just knowing it's okay to be you, even if other people may be like, what's wrong with them? And if they ask you that, say, I'm a troll. That's why. I'm me, and I'm proud to be me regardless of what anybody says. That's what your answer can be. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. When you're watching videos, particularly makeup related content, try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a certain tool or even a certain technique, because I hear a lot of times, oh, to get this look, you have to use this. You have to use this tool if you want, you know, your blend to be this way, yada, 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 or whatever. Use whatever you want to use, whatever brand, whatever tool, whatever technique, to get your makeup on in a way that you're satisfied with it, because you set the standard for yourself, not other people. And it goes back to just being yourself and knowing that you are perfect the way you are. You are unique. What else with the intro? Oh, here at the Crazy Troll Nation, I sometimes forget my intro. We are about self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. I do curse on my channel sometimes, because I do curse in real life sometimes. If you're new here, welcome. I am always this way. I will make no excuses. I appreciate you being here. If you're returning, thank you. Whichever side you're on, whether you're new or you've been here before, you can be watching anybody's video. This is a video, girl. But you chose to be here, and I do really appreciate that. We are still in our month of McGrath, and today we will be using Subversive Mothership number 3, and this is what it looks like. And even though I'm trying to do light ethereal looks, this is a smoky dark palette by nature, and so I'm trying to think of what to do for it to be a light look and to incorporate more than one celestial shade. These 4 are the celestial shades. So I'm thinking this, because it's a matte, because we're staying away from the black, because we're trying to do ethereal looks, right? So I'm thinking this shade, this one, which is a dual chrome, so it's blue and then it's not, and then maybe this one. It may be lower lash line, this shade here, and this one. That's what I'm thinking right now, and I will show you the colors as we're using them. Base face is done, the same base face we have been doing. You saw me put on chapstick, and you saw me prime my lids, and so we're going to get started. You may have noticed, if you watch the other 2 videos, we're going to take Night Creature, this shade here, that I have been kind of chatty in the beginning of these videos, and what I'm going to talk about today, I did think to do a separate video, and I still may, but if I do, I'm going to, I just heard something fall, and I was just like, what is that? It was the bag of Temu sponge applicators. You know how you hear like a plastic bag slide over? So it was like, shoo. And I'm sitting here like, what the fuck was that? Did I tell y'all I curse? Yeah, I did. So yeah, that startled me. Like, what is that sound? And so anyway, if I do a separate video for this topic, I've done it before a while ago, but I'm going to talk about it here because I'm hiding information in plain sight. And so if you are one of the few, I should say one of the many, because quite a few of you do watch almost every video I put out. And so I'm helping you out here for the scavenger hunt. Some of the answers are in what I'm saying in these videos. And so you don't have to necessarily go back and search through. And sometimes I do say things multiple times throughout different videos because it just is what it is. And so if you've been here for a while, I think the scavenger hunt may be kind of easy for you. And if you're new here, I'm bringing up certain chit-chat type stuff just to help you out here, because I do want it to be fun and I don't want you to be frustrated, even though scavenger hunts can be frustrated because there's always that one thing that you just cannot find. Oh my gosh, this is random. I may put this in there if I remember. I transferred from a community college to Long Island University on Long Island in 1992 for my undergrad. And because I was a transfer student, they had different groups. And so I was in a transfer student orientation group. They had to split up according to names or whatever. And that's where I met someone who we're still good friends to this day. And that was back in 1992. She's very social. I thought she was crazy, and I'm going to tell you why. And I've said this story way back when, but I don't remember where it is in my video playlist. But there were activities to do all day after they gave you a tour of the campus, and one of the events, the last event of the night, was a scavenger hunt. And she was like, "Are you going to do the scavenger hunt?" So we just kind of like hung out all day, did all the activities and everything. And I'm like, "No, you know, it's getting late. I need to go unpack." And so she was like, oh, "Okay." So at like 2 in the morning, I hear this knock on my dorm room door. I'm like, who the fuck knows I'm here? I'm from Camden, New Jersey. I'm on Long Island University. Well, I'm on Long Island in New York, upstate New York. And I'm just like, who know I'm here to be knocking on my door? Because where I'm from, you don't knock on people's door late at night. If they know you're coming, we'll be looking out the window for you. Like, you just don't be coming to knock on people's doors. And I thought she was crazy, and this is why. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing a scavenger hunt." And she was talking fast like this too. "We need to find a dryer sheet." And I'm thinking, where can I find a dryer sheet? And I saw all your stuff when you moved in. And I'm thinking, she'll have a dryer sheet. So I came over here. "Do you have a dryer sheet?" I'm like, "Look, just stop. Like, this is really what I was doing. I was like, just stop. Just stop. And I went and got a dryer sheet and gave it to her. She's like, "Oh my gosh." I said, "Just go. I hope you win." And I closed the door on her face. I'm like, who does that? But yeah, she was right. I had a dryer sheet. So that's how we became friends. Because I'm like, she is friggin' nuts. And I know I'm a little off too. But, and I teased her about that afterward. So it was, as you could tell, that was a fond memory. And that was a happy memory. And so, you know what? I'm going to leave that here. I'm not going to talk about the other thing. I'm going to do a separate video for the other thing. How am I going to fit that in with the month of McGrath looks? We'll fit it in. So that'll be a tidbit for this video, because I don't want to put in too much and then forget what I'm supposed to be putting in as far as the questions. So yeah, that was oh my gosh. So yeah, that was fun. It was a good memory, but I really thought she was crazy. Cause I'm like, who goes knocking on people's door 2 o'clock in the morning, and you just met me today? Yeah. And then we're going to take, we didn't say we were going to take that one. We're going to take this one. And if this is actually darker than this because it turns purple, this is just a regular metallic. So we're going to take this first. So that was that experience. It was culture shock for me moving from Camden, New Jersey, which some people say is a little sister to Philadelphia because it's across the bridge from Philadelphia. And it's when I was young, you know, pre-adolescent years, it was a nice area. But then crack came in, prostitution came in, and stuff just got bad quick. By the time I was 10, 11, it was really bad. And it was horrible. And it's what I knew, but deep down, I knew, like, life cannot just be this way. Like, this is just not, something's not right here. Like, why are things the way that they are? You know, drug deals and, you know, people selling furniture and baby diapers and formula for drugs and shooting, and just, it was just not good. And so moving from that type of environment to Long Island, New York, old money, meaning, okay, your grandchildren are wealthy because you're wealthy. And it was culture shock because I've worked since, I'm retired now, thankfully. Well, maybe not, mostly due to my disability. But I started working when I was 14. And so I've always worked. Sometimes I've had 2 jobs at the same time. And even being at Long Island University, I was doing work study and I had a weekend job. And at one point I was also doing an internship. So I had like 3 jobs. And, you know, I'm coming across, and I think I was 20 or 21 when I went to college. I want to say 21. And so I'm there with 17 and 18-year-olds that were fresh out of high school, that never worked a day in their life, were wealthy just because their great-great-great-grandparents were wealthy, which means they didn't value anything because everything was given to them. Some people call them silver spoon babies. You're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Your status in life is just because of your family. And it was culture shock for me. And I'm just like, y'all ignorant. Blah, 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 bleep, bleep, bleeps. And it was just horrible. And they looked down on me because of where I was from. And I'm thinking, y'all don't even know the value of $1. So, like, how are you, like, what's this attitude with me because I'm here? You know what I'm saying? And I was there, partial scholarship, lots of student loans, and I had the 3 jobs. And they were just there because they had to go to college. We're going to go into this shade. I did not say what they were. The first shade here was Night Creature. This shade is, I'm backwards. This shade, the first shade was Deep Shade. This is Deep Shade. This is Night Creature. Now we're going to go into Blitz Amethyst, this shade here. And so it was just, I was shocked because I didn't realize people live that way. And growing up the way I did, you know, I didn't watch a lot of, you know, reality TV. And I don't think reality TV even was then what it is now. I'm going to overlap these because this shade is darker than this one. So we're going to overlap it and kind of just blend it together. It was hard for me. I don't know if it was racism or classism, where it was, we don't like you because you're black, or we don't like you because you're poor, because you don't fit in with me and my friends type thing. So I'm really not sure what it was. At the time, I just thought it was, you know, a rich people, poor people type situation, because I did grow up poor. And what's ironic is where I grew up at, people thought we were wealthy. Well, not wealthy, but they thought we were rich, because my mom was a nurse and, you know, she had a house. So we grew up in a house. We didn't grow up in the projects. We grew up 1 block away from the projects. And so people thought we had money. Like, for the community I lived in, like, my friends thought we had money, but all the money went to bills. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like the Long Island 17-year-olds in college who didn't have to value anything or didn't have to work for anything. Okay, now that looks like a dual chrome, and that is very pretty. And I was hoping that that is what happened. Look at how this shifts these 2 shades. I'm liking that. So what I was going to say that I have forgot that quick was, I need another one of those brushes. Oh, they were there because now we're going to take VR Pink. I don't know, that ain't going to look right. That is not going to look right. We're going to take Astro Ghost Orchid. I have no idea what this is going to look like. The same with the last 2 palettes. I'm like, let's just put it on and see what happens. And I am using a dry brush with all of these. And I do have some fallout. She's kind of cute. So they were there because and I know this because quite a few told me this, I did become friendly with some of the other students, the wealthy students, because they saw like, okay, she's a person. Like, you know, she's here, she's working hard, she's intelligent, you know, she's mature for her age. And I was intellectually and emotionally more mature than some of them because I've worked since I was 14, and at this point I was like 21 and they're like 17, fresh out of high school. We're going to take a sponge tip applicator and go into Astro Ghost Orchid. Looking at it here, it looks pink. That's this shade here. And so some told me, oh, I didn't want to go to college, but my dad said if I wanted to work in the family business, I at least needed to get a bachelor's degree. And I'm like, oh, so that's why you're here? And honestly, it made sense because I'm a high school dropout. I went from GED to PhD. Yes, thank you. I know, that's impressive. A lot of work, a lot of work. A lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of tears. I am not liking that. We're going to take the brush, even using a sponge tip I got fallout from that. This is just making it smear. So we're just going to leave it. If you see it, pretend it's regular highlight on my face, which I do have one, but I think I will put more. We're going to go back to the brush that had this shade on it. And I'm just like, so you're here. Oh, I was saying, I understand them saying their parents were like, well, you need to get a degree if you want to work in family business, because after dropping out of high school, it took me maybe like a year to realize I needed higher education to get a better job. So that I understood. But still, I'm like, that's the only reason you're here is because you want to work in mommy and daddy business? Like, so you're still not earning anything because they're paying for you to be here, number one. They're paying for you to be here so you can meet the criteria for the entry-level job at the family business. Whereas for me, it was like, if I wanted to do anything other than work at department stores during Christmas season or work at McDonald's or pizza places, I needed to go back to school and get a degree. And so I related to that aspect, but the part of, you know, they're paying for you to be here because they want you to work in their business, and you want to work in the business because you know you're really not going to have to do work because you're going to start out higher up the chain than just a regular person coming in applying for a job at that business. So it was still a discrepancy of classism, you know. So it was challenging for me for a while. My second year there was easier because I was there for education, and so it wasn't, you know, let's just do all the things. Because number one, I couldn't afford to do all the things. But so that is that. We're going to take, thank you for listening to my rambles. Am I going to take a transition shade? I'm not going to take a transition shade. Did I use this brush? No. I'm going to take this brush, and I'm just going to do small circular motions up here. I kind of want to take that Skin Show shade, Skin Show Fever, but these are so bright on me, so we're not going to do that. And I don't think this is the ethereal look I was going for. I do like it because it is a little different. Actually, it's a lot different. I really love how these two center shades blended into one dual chrome, because this shade is a dual chrome anyway, but next to this one, it looks like the entire lid is that shade. So I am really digging that. So we're not going to put any other shadow on. I am really liking this. What I am finding, what I realized, that Pat McGrath's setting powder, it is extremely fine milled. This is the Fashion Fair powder. This is the container and the powder. I have to shake it to get even a little bit into the lid. When I turned upside down my Pat McGrath powder in the empty Fashion Fair, look how much powder is in here. You see all of that? And so today when I used it, I just tapped the brush in it. I tapped the brush in here, didn't tap off, and I tapped off in the lid and just used what was in there. And when I did that, I'm like, this is so finely milled, it just pours through those holes. And so I know now I'm not even going to turn it upside down for a while because there's enough powder at the top. But I really do like that powder. It's too light for me though, so when I finish that, I am not going to repurchase it. This is the pencil liner, which I really like this too, and I wish it was retractable, because if it was, this would become one of my go-tos, and also if she had other colors. I don't like using these types of eyeliners, pencil eyeliners, after I sharpen them, because something with the casing just doesn't, it's kind of funky, and I'm afraid of scratching my eyeball, not so much as underneath, but when I do my lower waterline or my upper waterline, I'm concerned with the casing scratching my eye. And I did consider purchasing one of these, because of course there's still a 30% off sale going on as of today. Today is July 2nd. But then I said no, because I have other liners, particularly the NYX retractable eyeliners that I like for my inner realms. And the Sephora ones work really well too, and they're retractable. So if Pat does a retractable one, I would definitely get it if they had other colors than black. So we're going to go back to the palette, and we're going to take, do we want to do these two, even though that'll look weird? But first we're going to take this shade, which is Gigabyte. This is going to be messy. And we're going to put that on our lower lash line. Oh, this is going to be messy. I am pressing it onto the gel liner, trying to avoid fallout. And I just felt some go into my eye. Yeah, I did. Which I kind of expected. That happened yesterday when I did the look. So I am coating the brush and just pressing. The gel liner helps it have something to stick to, especially since I powdered down my under eye area, meaning the concealer is not still damp for the eyeshadow to stick to. And so we're just bringing that out just a little bit as far as my skin will allow it, without skipping over. I want to take this all the way in, but I kind of just want to take that pink there, just because I do really like this shade, and I think most people do. So we're going to take a clean one, and we're going to go into VR Pink, this shade here, and this will be 1, 2, 3, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be 6 shades that we used for this look. And so we're just going to press this right here. Thank you for being here. Let me know if you're enjoying these videos so far. Unfortunately, when you get to the celestial shades, I'll say for the first few Mothership palettes, the shades are not dupable. But once you get into all the pinks and mauves, her palettes are dupable. But still, you can get something similar. It won't look the same, but a little similar. That just kind of blended in. It actually blended into up here, which is nice. So this looks like it's the same shade, which is okay. So that is that. We're going to put our liner on. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I wanted to say? And I think that was kind of it. Our videos are getting shorter and shorter. Let me know. I keep shaking it like it's a liquid, which it is, but it's a felt tip, so you don't need to shake it. If you don't have any Motherships, which would be the one that you would want to have? That's the question. The most popular ones are Bronze Seduction. Is that the next one? No, Decadence is the next one. That's number 4, and Bronze Seduction is number 5. Bronze Seduction is popular. Which other one is one of the most popular ones? Or I should say best-selling. I want to say one of the Divine Roses. I got a super thin line today, and I'm going to leave it before I mess up. But it's not looking like as much over here. Yeah, so if you can have one Mothership, which one would you get? I think Bronze Seduction is one of the best-selling ones because it's basic shades, basic everyday shades. And so, oh, that wing came out nice. I already know this side ain't gonna come out like that. because it never does look the same. Even on sale though, I only get her Motherships on sale. When they're 40% off, they're like $77, which I know is still a lot to some people. But that's when I buy them. Or at the least 30% off, because then it's like 80 something. No, 90, I think around 90 bucks. And so I still get them. And as you see, I'm going to put on Lancome Sills Boost Mascara Primer, Matte Stack Mascara in black. And I'm going to come back and figure out which blush we're going to use. And yeah, we're just going to put on a Pat gloss. Where are my glosses? We're going to put on this one right now. This is Astro Moonflower. I think I do have one more that I was debating whether or not to declutter. I'm going to grab it. I'll be right back. This is Glowing Garnet, and we're going to put this on. I was going to say, don't let me forget to do my mascara. I really need to do a live, and I know it's getting close, because I find myself saying quite often, I wish I could hear you, or I'm asking questions and waiting for an answer that I'm not going to get until you guys watch the video. And so I'm hoping when I do a live, I still don't like this. That's going back in the, I think I'm going to throw this away right now because it's just too orangey. And it does not go with this eye look. I'm throwing that away right now. That helped me decide. I want to do something else with the lip though, because I do not like it. So do I just want to then take, this is Bronze Venus on top of it. Like, will this tone it down? I did use this, I think, in the first look. And it was okay. It looks the same. And I'm putting a lot. Then it'll end up being goopy. I like how it toned it down. While we're here, let's pick out a blush. And I'm thinking again, like, can you hear me? This is Love Struck. I do not lean towards Love Struck, but I used it yesterday. I think I'm gonna use it again just because. This is Paradise Venus, which I love. And then of course Desert Orchid, which goes with every friggin' thing. We're gonna take Love Struck, and then if I don't like it, I will just put probably Desert Orchid on top of it. This is just, it's just something about it where I'm just like, like it doesn't call me. I don't gravitate to it. And part of me is like, just get rid of it. Her blushes are good for 18 months after you open it. So it does have a lot of life left into it. You know what? I think I am going to declutter this. You guys are probably sick of me saying this, but I'm gonna ask my little cousin if she wants it. Y'all, it's trippy to me because I'm 53 and I know how much Pat is worth, you know, monetarily. And she's only 13. So it's just like, why am I giving her? I don't like that. So like, why am I giving her like these luxury items? And the reason is, we're going to take Desert Orchid. The reason is I don't know many people in my real life that are close in proximity to me that I can give stuff to. And even if I ask someone, oh, would you like such and such, if they say yes, then I gotta pay postage. Only a few people have said, what do you want for it? Or, this is not toning it down. Only a few people have said, you know, what do you want for it? And I'll just say, well, whatever shipping is. And then like, and some will send extra. Like if shipping is like $8, they'll send me like 15 bucks, which I'm like, wow, like that's very generous. And I don't expect people to say, what do you want for it? Because I'm asking, like, do you want this item? You know what I mean? That does not look right at all. It seemed like Desert Orchid, which usually tones stuff down, it seemed to just amplify it. And me like a nut took it all the way up here. Dang, girl. What's happening? So we're going to take the powder, the medium light 2 or light medium 2 powder, and so you'll get to see what I'm saying. I'll tap it, I'll leave it like that very carefully, and then I'll press it into the cap and tap it onto my face. So this is how I've been using the powder, and there's still some in the cap, just a little bit left in the cap. I do not like Love Struck, so I'm taking just a tiny bit more and I'm pressing it to get it into the brush. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna see if she wants it. Yeah, so there's only a few people, and not that I look, as I said, for people to say what do you want for it, and it always surprises me when someone says that, because if I'm offering something, my intention is I'm going to send it to you if you say yes. But it does really help when people say that, because I'm like, oh, okay, well, just shipping, you know. But if she says yes, I'll see them either on the 3rd or the 4th of this month. So I do not like that blush shade. Ooh, I do not like that blush shade. So that's my reasoning behind that. We're going to take the highlighter again. You know what? I don't think I'm going to do... This is Venusian Nude. I don't think I'm going to do mascara. This will just be it for this video. So I just have that one part to edit when I got the gloss that I did decide to throw away. You guys are like, she's throwing away Pat? What is wrong with her? If I don't like something, and I was holding on to it, but I don't like this lip combo, even putting the second gloss on top. I'm not liking that. I am not liking that. I'm putting this here to kind of camouflage the fallout. Yeah, I don't like the lip. To me, I look clownish. I love the eye look, but the blush with the lip, I'm not liking it. I'm just not. What I'm gonna actually do is, because I dislike it so much, I'm gonna wipe this off. If you're still here, thank you for being here with me. If you liked that first lippy, let me know. And the same with that blush. It's just something about the tone of it that I don't like for myself. I don't remember how I came to have it. We're just gonna put Bronze Venus back on. I don't know if it was in the Ipsy shop. No, if anything, it was in BoxyCharm shop. Back when it was BoxyCharm. This I like because it's kind of there, not there. So I'm going to keep that one. So this is our finished look. We're not even going to do any mascara base or mascara primer. This is the look for today. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the ramblings. I hope that it is helpful to you. So I just have to make sure to time when I announce the scavenger hunt, because these little tidbits, yeah. So anyway, let me know what you think of this look. I am loving the lid shades. I'm loving the lower lash line, which I didn't even buff out like I normally do. I think I was just thrown off by the blush. Anyway, I'm really gonna go. Thank you for being here. And I was trying to think of another question, but I think I asked enough and I think I talked enough in this video. So as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you for being here. A lot of links below. Check them out. And you will see me soon.